Warning: Alan and JJ Johnson are not professional comedians. During this program, you will be exposed to unfiltered dad jokes in their most potent and raw form, dads telling them to each other. Watching this video may lead to serious physical harm, including facepalm concussions, head-shaking whiplash, and uncontrollable groaning. Proceed at your own risk.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this is Two Dads and a Joke. And we're here to give you a six-pack of dad jokes and just a shot of parenting advice. And so JJ, you know, one of the things I've noticed is that you have a lot of Godzillas and King Kongs and like giant, you know, Kaiju kind of stuff going on at your house is what I've seen. And I'm sure it's probably because you have these dinos of doom running around and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the thing is, my son and I watch a ton of those movies this summer, so I had a bit of a theme to my dad jokes this time. But as it turns out, Godzilla, I don't know if you know this, other than making destructive movies and eating cities, he's actually quite the businessman.
Really?
Yeah, did you know he has a side hustle?
No.
Yeah, he flips houses.
All right, I get it. I like it. So right now it is cold outside. I mean, we're in the heart of winter. Oklahoma is getting more snow than we normally get, most of the time, at least in the Oklahoma City area. So you know what you call a snowman with a six-pack?
What do you call a snowman with a six-pack?
An abdominal snowman. Abdominal.
Oh, folks, that's the high quality and creativity we bring to the dad jokes. Our puns go on forever, right? I mean, but really, we actually are competent writers, JJ and I. We can actually write novels that people enjoy, and we focus on kids, middle grade. So think like 2nd to 6th grade, maybe somewhere in that ballpark. I'm currently writing the Towers of Light series. Fear No Evil is out this month. JJ?
I am the author of the middle grade series Iggy and Oz, the Plastic Dragons of Dooms, and the Soda Pop Wars. And if you go to my website and join my newsletter, you can get a free story called Mr. Chesterton's Stockings, which is actually a Christmas story. But, you can read a Christmas story all year if you wanted to.
Absolutely, especially if it's Iggy and Oz, because it's awesome. The other thing you can do all year is you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Two Dads and a Joke. We've got some funny stuff out there, and when I got to thinking about Godzilla, there's always that thing, this ships in the ocean that Godzilla picks up and throws and whatnot. But found a great dad joke out there the other day though that really kind of resonated with that. Says what from Bob Sanders sent out to the Beyond the Valley of the Pun memes. It says, what happened when the blue ship and the red ship collided?
I don't know.
All the sailors were marooned.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
So, by the time this airs, you know what's coming up. Valentine's Day. It's getting
already.
Close.
You're
it's
right.
Getting close. It's getting
going to
close.
be on the way. You're right.
Within a month, and I'm starting to. I always try to think about Valentine's Day a little early. As far as the presents and stuff, because I always mess that up for some reason. I don't know what it is. So a long time ago, I started thinking about that, and we'll probably do a Valentine's Day episode here pretty soon. But I got the best present idea for these special types of things, and you know what it is?
What?
A broken drum. You just can't beat it.
Nice. Well, speaking of broken things, well, not so broken. I mean, you got this really cool King Kong that I've seen you take pictures of.
Yeah, I don't have it with me.
You don't have it out, but we've got photos to prove that you have this King Kong.
I know.
Did you know that King Kong, he's an important guy. He's got about as much business going on as Godzilla with his house flipping. Why did King Kong climb the Empire State Building, though?
I'm not sure.
He had a plane to catch.
And catch it he did.
Oh, that was a surprise ending right there. You thought I was going to do something funnier than that, and I didn't because these are dad jokes.
It's okay. It's not as bad as my broken truck.
Surprise! It was funny. Maybe. I don't know. Speaking of surprises, the one thing I can say about COVID all up and the lockdowns and the civil unrest and the political blah, 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 blah. I mean, This year's been pretty... And technically, this will probably air in 2021, so hopefully we're not living out the feature film after the trailer, but let's say things are going good here. When you think back on your kids and what happened, I mean, as a parent, we try to invest and help them do the right thing and make good choices and whatnot. What they say, what they do this last year just really surprised you that, wow, they got it, or wow, they did this cool thing.
Kids this past year, because, if we're going all the way back to March 11th last year, when the pandemic really officially began, kids had one of the strangest years, in my opinion. Never in our lifetime have we ever lived through something like what we are still living through right now, all right?
Yeah.
But kids had school completely canceled last year, graduations put on hold, proms gone, sports just stopped cold turkey. And, and then to come back, and my kids went into what they call an AB model. So they're in school Monday and Tuesday, and then they're virtual 3 days out of the week. And, and then we've had some weeks where cases spike, and, they've been virtual for the full week. And so it has been nearly exhausting to try and navigate this as a parent. But as a kid, I don't want to say my kids, they don't know that something's going on. They know something's going on. Anytime I cough in the house, they look at me and laugh and go, "You got the corona." And I'm like, "Stop it. Don't repeat that."
Yeah.
It's amazing how smarter my kids who are 5 and 8 really are. Or not 5 and 8, I'm sorry, 6 and 8 really are.
It's okay. It goes fast.
2020.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, it's amazing how incredibly smart they are. And they know that mom and dad are stressed. And they know that, I think what's amazed me about my kids at their age is how much independence I've kind of noticed that they take. We've given them assignments, like, I don't want to call them chores, but, every morning when you get up, I put their clothes out. That's my job. I put their clothes out every morning. They get dressed, and they're putting their clothes in the hamper. They're brushing their own teeth now. They're, flossing with the little flossers and stuff like that. They're doing things this past year that we didn't expect them to really do, but because of 2020 and just the nature of things like that, we started giving them little assignments around the house. But what really amazed me is how much technologically advanced my kids are that are far more, and look, I'm Gen X, so I grew up with Nintendo. I grew up with technology, but my kids can do things on an iPad that I'm just sitting there going, whoa, wait, what'd you do? And I feel like an old man all of a sudden. And it's just to see my 6-year-old navigate virtual school in such a way and just get up, go to the kitchen table, sit down with the iPad, put his headphones on, and just start doing his work without having to be told. I'm just sitting there going, that's weird, because when I was
his
amazing.
Age,
when I was his age, I wouldn't have done that. You would have had to drag me to get in there, get out of bed, But yeah, Miles will get up and he'll go in there and he'll just start it and just go. And we sit there and I would help him, my wife helps him, but he knows what to do. Now our kindergartner, he needs a little bit more help, but he also knows what to do, and so it's kind of weird because, I believe kids need to be in school. Absolutely. I believe kids need to be in school safely and healthily. But it's amazing how my kids, I'd never realized how independent my kids can really be if I just let them, and that's a tough thing. And I think it's an important lesson for a parent to learn, to just let your kids do things and kind of take a step back and let them learn. Because I think some of the best way kids learn is when they can learn to do it on their own. But I mean, I look at that and I'm just like, is he really doing his work? And then you look and you're like, yeah, he's really doing his work. And I've talked to other parents who have said the same thing. Yeah, he knows what to do. They just roll out of bed, get in there, get straight to work, get it done, and they can play for the rest of the day. So I think that was something that my kids have really shown me over this past year, is that, they don't need to be having me hold their hand all the time. They're a lot smarter and they pick up on things a lot quicker than I think they do. And I don't think I would have ever learned that lesson had the nature of 2020 not been upon us.
Oh, yeah. I think, you talk about the kids, since, we've been homeschooling since before all the cool kids were doing it. So I do totally recognize that moment of, oh, they can actually be responsible. Like that, right. That, for us, that goes back a while just because we've homeschooled for a long time. But I think for me, the bigger thing was, I always try to teach my kids some level of social responsibility, right? Like I've led scouts, I've led robotics, I've done these things in the community to, do the right thing. Like we give out, help the needy in lots of different ways, things like that. And so when all of the chaos ensued in the streets, my daughter stepped up and said, I'm going to go wherever that stuff's going on and I'm going to pray with people. Yeah. And, we didn't have that. We had minor burning, looting stuff happening late at night, not during the day when she was out. So it wasn't like she was going into the heart of danger per se. Although it could have been, I guess. She could have been accosted or something, but that's not what happened to her. But just that she would take that on herself to go do that. Like she got a couple people together and they went and they prayed with people. And that was, on the one hand, I wasn't surprised because that's kind of what you hope your kid, you teach your kids social responsibility, you teach them to honor God with their words and deeds. But to see it happen, it was like, wow, that was amazing. And then both of my boys have stepped up at different times in ways I would have never. First of all, in some ways, I never would have wanted to ask them to step up, right? Like, I wouldn't even want to ask you to do this, but this is the reality of what's going on. But I think especially, and it's been kind of interesting here at the end, my wife's work has had some just difficulty. She's in customer service, and they had a product that went so wildly successful, they couldn't keep up. Which is like, it's a good problem to have in the middle of pandemic, having a successful business. Like, who would have thought? But they've really helped out in a lot of ways to solve problems and do stuff. And I think that as a parent is the thing that you hope to see, right? Is that stepping up. But then the other thing is there's just been some real vulnerable moments where they come and said, this is not working out for me, Dad. Like, I can't handle being locked up one more day. And I think especially for teenagers, that's pretty tough stuff. And so with my son, anyway, my younger one, we pass our time with watching, I mentioned all these Kaiju movies and silly stuff like that. But one of the ones, we had many hours to work through was the Transformers. Optimus Prime and Megatron and all that. But what does Optimus Prime have in common with a movie theater?
I have no idea.
He has a trailer.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So
That was so bad. So bad.
So yeah, hey, I'm gonna close this off with one of my my Christmas jokes, even though we're out of Christmas. So you know what the best type, because you're wearing a Christmas sweater.
I am.
Yeah, your ugly Christmas
It's still
sweater.
Christmas.
Do you know what the best type of Christmas sweaters are made from?
What are the best type of Christmas sweaters made from?
Fleece Navidad.
All right, everybody. I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
We'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.